All right, y'all. So we're gonna do lumbar spine flow for this Kinsnack. So we're starting in this quad position. Gonna go through 2 spinal segmentations, slowly starting from that lumbar right now. Doing your best to move 1 vertebra at a time through extension, mid, upper. The head will come up last. And then you're gonna start back at that lumbar, slowly going into flexion. Again, trying to move 1 vertebra at a time. So you see I'm moving very, very slow here. Just take your time. Moving through that upper, head will come down last. Exhale, push everything away. And then we're gonna start back at that lumbar, 1 more each. Slowly moving into extension. Making sure those arms and legs stay nice and straight. So you're promoting as much spinal movement as possible. Again, slowly moving through extension. Just take your time. If you do get to the end before I do, just keep breathing through that in range. Head's coming up right now into extension. And then 1 more, we'll start back at that lumbar. Slowly moving into flexion. Moving through that mid-back, upper. And lastly, that head will come down and drop. Now, I'll be in frog position next, but feel free to be in any position that is comfortable for you, but I wanted to get a little bit more groin and hip activation during this lumbar segmentation. So you see I'm making a cup for my forehead, driving the hips forward a bit, and I'll adjust as we go through it. But right now, we're gonna start to go through a little bit of extension. It's gonna look very small. We're just gonna breathe and drive just the lumbar right now. So we're thinking anterior pelvic tilt. Anterior pelvic tilt. We're trying to drop that belly button away from your chest. And now we're gonna slowly move to flexion of the lumbar. Now I'm thinking like I'm trying to pull my belt buckle back up towards my chest, or drop your butt down towards the ground. Okay, let's go back into extension. So you're slowly now going through that anterior pelvic tilt, trying to drive just that belt buckle down away from your chest. You're nice and active on what feels good. You should also have some tension through the knees and toes, especially when we go to flexion, but we're still breathing and reaching for extension right now, just of that low back. So it should be very small, very intentional. And now let's slowly go back into flexion. So now we're thinking posterior pelvic tilt. We're trying to almost scoop your pelvis up into your belly button. So like I said, again, this is going to be very small. You probably don't even really see me moving here. Especially in this flexion, you want those knees and toes to be super duper tight. And just think less is more. So we're looking for very, very specific contraction. Okay, now we're going to go back into extension once more. And let's slowly start to drive that pelvis or that belt buckle away from your chest. And just breathe, keep the core tight. So you see I got a pretty gnarly contraction here. And now we're gonna do a bit longer one here. We're gonna go back into flexion. And now, again, think like you're trying to pull that pelvis up towards your belly button or chest, driving your tailbone away from your body. And super duper important here for those knees and ankles to be nice and heavy, especially if you're in this frog position. So you get a nice glute contraction. I'm sure you guys see me working right now. Got a nice deep contraction through the groin, low back area. Just breathe and just keep fighting for flexion, but it should be very light and intentional and intense. And you can relax. Let's come up out of there. Now we're gonna go 2 spinal segmentation as we did in the beginning, and then we got a little bonus if you have some extra time. So back on all fours, slowly going, starting at the lumbar, moving through the mid, upper back. The head's gonna come up last, squeeze. And then we'll start back at that lumbar. Slowly moving into flexion, trying to segment just one vertebra at a time. Going through the lower, mid, upper back. Head's gonna drop. Push everything away. Big exhale. And then we're gonna get a little bonus here. So I'm back in that frog position now on all fours. And we're just gonna end with a very long flexion hold, because this is where I needed a little bit more love for the lumbar. So the feet should be facing away from each other. I'm thinking posterior pelvic tilt right now. So knees, feet, trying to scoop that pelvis up into your belly button. As you can see, the hips are shaking, so they're working pretty good right now. And just breathe. This is just one long contraction. And just keep fighting for that tension. Knees and big toes nice and heavy. So you should feel the groin, glutes. Just breathe and hold. Feel that tension. Less is always more here. It looks like I'm working very hard, but I'm actually not pushing that hard. I'm just reaching for that nice contraction of what feels good. Got a few more seconds, and you can slowly relax.